Jason McNew of Appalachian Technologies here, and this is Security Snark, where we discuss all the cybersecurity news that's worth discussing. Hey everybody, it's been a crazy week in the cybersecurity world. Being reported all over the internet is the Log4j bug. Car thieves in the UK are using a device disguised as a Game Boy to steal luxury cars. Hackers have caused a shortage of cream cheese, so not very good timing. And coming another piece from the UK, car thieves are using Apple AirTags to track vehicles to steal. And first up this week, we're going to talk about the Log4j vulnerability. And this one's been all over the news. I'm not even citing a particular website for this one this week. You can just search on and read it on your own. And what I want to impart on people is how bad this is and how pervasive it is, because I want you to listen to me and then go do research on your own. This one is gigantic, and Log4j is a logging component that is built into Apache web server. And if you don't know what Apache web server is, it's web server software that has something like 50% of market share globally, right? Globally. So half of the web servers on this planet, over half of the web servers on this planet run Apache, and I believe that this affects nearly all of them. So that's how big this is. Imagine half of the web servers on the planet. And when this dropped on Friday, so far they were saying it affected iCloud, Steam, and Minecraft, just to name a few. So this thing is massive, right? And not only that, it's very, very simple to exploit. This is another case of being able to enter an erroneous string of text and then send it to a server, and then it responds in a way that is unpredictable and then bad. So people were finding that they could just change the name of a computer or post it in chat, and then it would ingest it into this logging system called Log4j, and then send it to Apache, and then you could own the server, right? So this is one of the things that makes our career field in cybersecurity interesting, right? We're professionals, like lawyers or like accountants, but we can wake up one morning and then find out the whole world is burning down and your whole weekend has gone out the window, you're missing dinner, you're not going to your kid's baseball game and all of that. And if you're a lawyer, not to pick on lawyers or accountants or anything like that, but this kind of thing doesn't happen in the medical profession or the legal profession or the financial profession, typically. Because, and I say that because you could watch a new bill coming through committee or whatever, or watch some new guidance coming down through the National Institute of Health or the WHO or the CDC or whatever. But with us in the cybersecurity world, you wake up one morning and there's a zero-day exploit. And a zero-day exploit, a critical zero-day exploit, which is what this one was, means that it's a previously unknown vulnerability that's extremely bad. So this is the kind of thing that guys like us, folks like us, we get a call for in the middle of the night. You've got to get out of bed, and you have to get started on patching everything immediately. So I can't overstate how big and what the impact of this thing is. And Lord only knows who was aware of it before this thing hit the news. And I'm sure if bad actors were aware of it, they were exploiting it quietly. So the main takeaway here is how important in your organization and your enterprise that patch and vulnerability management are. Automated patching is not enough. You have to have a live vulnerability scanner like Nessus, Qualys, Alien Vault, one of those things that's in there scanning your stuff at least every week, every month, something like that, for these new vulnerabilities. To look for these things so that you know what's vulnerable and what isn't, and so that you can act immediately. Now, I used to work on classified systems, and in the classified realm, on classified secret systems and above, we would scan stuff literally every single day and then patch it within 24 hours. And if you have a bug like this in your systems, and this goes unpatched for any length of time, this could get exploited. And what's going on now is we know that this one, it's extremely pervasive, it's very easy to exploit, and we know that the bad guys are all over this thing, and they're just scanning the entire internet like crazy looking for this. And there's been a couple of these this year. These really big ones that kind of came out of the blue. The SolarWinds one was gigantic. That was another one that just dropped out of the sky and fell on our heads. But research this on your own. What I'm trying to explain is how pervasive this is, how easy it is to exploit, how damaging it is, and how important it is to have proper patch and vulnerability management as part of your enterprise. So do a little bit of research on this one on your own, the Log4j, and then read up on it, and then get your patches in place. And then adjust your cybersecurity posture accordingly. If you don't currently have patch and vulnerability management in your network, you need to program funds for this for next year and get it in place. Because if this one didn't get you, then the next one will. It's just a matter of time until these things are just constantly coming out. It's a constant problem. And if you have any questions about patch and vulnerability management, of course, reach out to me or Appalachian Technologies, and we can explain this stuff to you. But this one is very, very big news. And we're going to be keeping our eye on this to see how it unfolds. Because like some of the bugs in the past, like WannaCry, for instance, is another example of a big one like this. People aren't going to patch this. They're going to ignore it. They're going to think this isn't a big problem. It definitely is a problem. So they're going to continue. We're going to continue to see fallout for this for some time into 2022 for sure. And next up comes this piece from BBC. Yorkshire gang's Game Boy device could unlock car in seconds. And I'm not only am I a cybersecurity guy, I'm also a big car nerd. And at any given time, I have 6-8 cars in my driveway that my son and I are tinkering with. So I know a lot about cars. And I've been paying attention to the security risks with cybersecurity with cars as they've gotten more complicated, right? Because they have wireless, they have CAN bus, they have all these other things in there, which theoretically can be exploited. But in any case, these guys here in the UK, they had this device, and this thing was disguised as a Game Boy, and they were using it to steal Mitsubishi Outlanders. And evidently, this is a proprietary device, for lack of a better description. And evidently, this thing is worth like $26,000, or that's what it cost to build. And they were able to steal this specific type of car, a Mitsubishi Outlander, literally in seconds with this thing. So if it's possible with a Mitsubishi Outlander, I suppose that this will be possible with other types of cars if you have a similar device. And you kind of, obviously I don't condone this kind of thing, but you have to kind of admire them for their creativity here, right? So they had this device disguised as a Game Boy. It cost a lot of money. And then not only that, they had it hidden in a compartment in their car. And the way that these guys were caught doing this was on closed circuit TV. There was closed circuit TV footage that showed them unplugging this Mitsubishi from its charging point before using the device to unlock it and then start it. So if you've ever seen the movie Gone in 60 Seconds, this is kind of like that. So we'll be keeping our eye out for more devices like this, because if they were able to do this with one specific car, they stole several Mitsubishi Outlanders with it. I suppose you could exploit similar vulnerabilities in other cars and steal other ones. And next up comes this piece from Zero Hedge. Hackers have crippled Schreiber Foods, which is the largest cream cheese manufacturer in the United States. And evidently, they timed this attack. They did this in October and shut them down for a couple of days. And evidently, this was done for the purpose of coinciding with the holiday season, which is their busiest time. And cream cheese it has no shelf life, right? It has to be refrigerated. So this isn't something you just have a stock of lying around. So it's created a shortage of cream cheese. So of all the things that hackers could do to make your daily regular life miserable, imagine them making cream cheese unavailable to you during Christmas. That's kind of demoralizing. But it just goes to show that they'll attack anything, literally anything. And usually they're financially motivated. Sometimes there's other motivations, but in any case, they've attacked Schreiber Foods. They shut it down for 3 days in October, and now there is a shortage of cream cheese due to hackers who supposedly might be in Russia, if this piece from Zero Hedges is accurate. And finally this week comes this warning from this alert from York Regional Police. And when I say York, I mean York in the UK, Britain. And this is vehicle theft warnings and tips. Investigators with York Regional Police are advising residents they've identified a new method used by thieves to track and steal high-end vehicles. And what they're doing is they're taking these Apple AirTags, which you could use to track your own stuff, and then sticking it somewhere on a vehicle and then figuring out where the vehicle lives, and then they go and then steal the thing. right? The first thing that comes to mind when I read this was the old saying is, and that's why we can't have nice things. But hackers and thieves are notorious for this. They're going to take some kind of a technology or some kind of a capability or a convenience or whatever it is that is seemingly innocuous and innocent, and then they're going to use that or repurpose it or leverage it towards malevolent ends. And how do you mitigate this? I don't really know. I suppose there's probably some type of a device, a handheld device that you could use to sweep for bugs like what the Secret Service does. I know that stuff like that exists because these do admit RF. I think really probably the only mitigation strategy for this is to make sure they have good insurance with a low deductible. So if your car gets ripped off, that you get paid back for it. But it's just another thing to keep an eye out for. We'll be keeping an eye on this one to see if there's any more of these. And I picked this one again because I'm a car guy, and I would be pretty upset if I found out that I found one of these tracking devices on my car, and here's just an Apple AirTag. And that's all we have for this week on Security Snark, and we'll see you next week.